So I've replaced the jack on this Fairport Block Splitter, and this one's quite an old one. It's should have a handle at the top here. I think somebody's bounced it off the back of a truck at some point. I bought it second hand recently. I'm gonna block pave the drive, so it's more than hefty enough to do little paving blocks. This is the original jack. Okay, so they're both 10-ton jacks. The original jack is obviously quite a lot bigger, and I didn't realise that. You know what they say about assumption, don't you? Well, I assume that this one that I bought on eBay for about £22–23 was the same size. Why wouldn't I? But it's obviously a lot smaller. I wouldn't trust my 10-ton truck on that, to be honest. But anyway, it's for splitting block pavers. It'd be plenty good enough for me. What you got to do is you've got to drill and tap 3 holes. So there's one at the top of this bit which extends. Okay, 8mm thread, and this bit is solid. Okay, so you don't need to worry about drilling into anything when you drill and tap that. But it is solid steel. The tapping drill size, the pilot hole for a 8mm thread, I think is supposed to be 6.8, but I ended up putting in a 9/32 inch, 9/32 inch, which is just over 7. I think it's about 7.2mm, and it was perfectly good. But I tried putting the tap in with a 6.8 hole, and it was just too tight. And I think one of the worst things you can do when you're doing this sort of thing is break the bloody tap off in the hole. Okay, you only need about 15mm of thread. All right, so I really would be very cautious. You need another 2 holes, 8mm thread, one there and one at the back there. Now, because it's a smaller jack, the one that I replaced, I did a cunning thing, more by accident than by design. You see the original hole is a slotted hole just there. Would have been too widely spaced, so I put a couple more holes in. So I put made my own sort of dimensions for these things. I would, if I were you, if you're going to actually do it, I would probably get a 20-ton jack. They're about 40 or 50 pounds. As I say, that one was about 23. I'll tell you for why. Because if you've got a nice big jack, you can wind that right the way down. You see, I've got the upper blade on the lower setting as it is, but if you've got a nice big jack, you can wind that right the way down, so that when you release it, it just goes up slightly above the block. Okay, so if you're cutting block after block after block, you don't need to pump it up so high. Or the other thing is usage. You know, when you use it, don't let the bloody thing go right the way up. Just as long as it's clear of your next block, then you nip it up again. But I mean, this here comes in 2 parts, but it's an altogether cheaper thing. I mean, look at the quality of the handle on the original one. So it swings and roundabouts, really. I mean, if you buy another jack, then you need to do all the drilling and tapping. And if you renovate one of these, it's a messy old job, and as I say, you need big hefty tools to get the damn things apart, and you need to be able to, if you can't get an O-ring kit for it, then you're going to have to measure all the O-rings and try and get replacement parts. The other thing I'd mention is when you actually put the jack in or take the old jack out, you want somebody fairly hefty, nice strong person, put the feet on this bit on the top of the top blade, and then hold on to this. Okay, do it around the back. You know, this, I'm calling this the front. Do it around the back, and then pull. You know, so that they stretch the springs, so that you can actually put your jack in. I was a bit naughty when I took this one out. My son, who's pretty big, helped me put this one in, but he wasn't there when I took this one out, so I just belted it out with a rubber mallet, and of course it went boing, and it's a hefty thing, so I shouldn't tell you that. Okay, so there you go. It's just take your time, especially putting that bloody threaded hole in the top there. Okay, don't break your tap off. And you can get a set of taps on eBay again. I got a set of taps from threading taps from 3mm up to 10mm, I think it was, for about £4. High speed steel. Do get high speed steel. Don't get cheap taps. They will not cut. Okay.